Hello. I'm just gonna talk trading like I usually do um, while I'm working. But one thing I like about trading is that it doesn't have to be so exact. You'd think it does. You'd think mathematics and yeah, of course there's math, but it's brute force math. It's not so technical. It's more so big picture math, probabilities, such as, like, take this example. All right, this is NG. It's trapped in a range. You look at this, and it came from way high up. Look, it's lost um, an incredible amount. It's gone from $10 sitting there, not quite sitting there, but going back and forth between $6 and $10, and now it's sitting around $2 to $3. There's a train, uh, excuse me, a range between 2 and 3. There's no doubt, in my opinion, that's a range. Um, and it could continue for quite some time. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take. But my point is, like, man, it's not that hard. In my opinion, I would just set up a trade like this, such as um, you whichever range is broken first, that's the trade you do. So if it breaks up, then you go short, and then probably to buy on the other side of the range. If it breaks, say it comes down without breaking that $3 mark and comes down and breaks this and adds into this green zone, you buy in this green zone. Your stop loss is on the end of the green zone. You buy for it to come all the way up to the red. Now you do this once. So if it goes up and breaks this high and you go short, um, then obviously the green zone you're not buying. You're just taking profit at that green zone. You're not entering the market long. Um, yeah, because then the trade is archived. It's done. Next trade, right? But that's the setup, and it doesn't have to be so exact. I mean, the box looks good. I mean, you could do 50%. That's what I was going for, but you don't have to freaking measure. I mean, no, you want to measure for one reason only, for yourself, to not double check in your mind when you're in that position. Be like, I didn't measure. Actually, I need to move my stop loss even further away, because that's what your mind will want you to do. It'll tempt you to do that, regardless if you make a precision stop or not. Um, so in that sense, yeah, probably go 50%. But if you are past that temptation, you're always going to have temptations, but if you're strong enough and well informed enough about trading, such as myself, I mean, I still have temptation, but I think if you're mature enough and experienced enough, you won't need to measure it so much because then you can just look. I made the trade and that's the trade. It has a win rate and it has a lose rate. It's whatever one's gonna happen. I don't freaking know what's gonna happen. That's my bet. And look, let the results go. And that's what you got to do. But that's what I like about trading. It doesn't have to be so exact, man. It doesn't have to be so precise that people think like algorithmic trading and all that. Yeah, I don't think this is a business that's so airtight. Um, that these things are gonna really matter. A tick or two, is it really gonna matter? You know, my point is that this market, the marketplace is so random. The noise is so heavy that it doesn't really matter that much that you're doing something so perfect. dumbass people can make money in the market. Maybe not over time, but you can make the wrong trade and it can work out. You can make the right trade and it might not work out. That's my point. The randomness. There's a probability term in statistics where the noise of the market, or sorry, the noise of the data set, you might compare it to standard deviation, but I'm talking about more so specific to a sample of a population. It's it's whatever value, R value, I don't know, R squared or some just some name for it. It's the noise. I don't know how else to say it. It's the variance, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, you try to create a correlation, try to create an edge in the market, but it's not so precise. It doesn't have to be so precise. I It's easier to work with just boxes, big big boxes. Here, look at this box. Here's this box. That's my risk. And look at the risk reward. Let's see. Here's my risk, and here's my 1 to 3 to 1 is the other side of that box. So 2 to 1 to the other side of the range. I think it'll break that range. If it breaks this range, it comes up and tests this range. It'll definitely break this range rather than breaking this low. So then I'd go for the 3 to 1, right? That's my conceptual knowledge on it. So you got to think a little bit in advance, but really it's not that hard. It's not that complex. I used to think it's so damn complex. I used to think it's so um, down to the minutia, whatever that word means. It's just so. And then you're too rigid. You're trapped in a box, and you're not square. It's not comfortable. I'm not a square. I'm I'm something like an octagon. You know. I can't be or pentagram. Pentagon. I'm a pentagon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about squares. I got I got flat sides. I can roll with the squares sometimes, but I also like the circles. You know what I'm saying? My point is, trading doesn't have to be so precise. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be so complex. Um, People will doubt you, like they always do, especially if it's simple and not complex, because they look at the stock market and all the numbers and all the mojo atmosphere around the stock market, algorithms and all black boxes, bop, 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 big money suits and big words. So they think something simple can't be the answer. And I partially in that boat, but I'm getting out of that boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting out of it because I can see success in doing something simple and something um, that isn't so damn precise, and you have freedom, and it's something that's livable. You can work. Let's give you this analogy. You can have a diet, and you can go on one diet and be like, "This is my diet," and you're gonna be clean, and you don't eat any junk food whatsoever, non-dairy, everything. you you can do that for how long? How long? Most people can't do it for a week. Even if you do 2 weeks, like you try to make it a habit of yourself, it's still you can't. It's a not. It's not. It's not possible, in my opinion. I mean, it adds so much undue stress to you And sooner or later, you're going to develop like mindset problems where you eat a spoonful of ice cream and you're fucking depressed, or you go in a YOLO slide, or whatever. How long can you do that diet? It's too freaking rigid. It's too rigid. You need something that is a lifestyle change. You need a lifestyle, something that you can live with. It's not, you need habits that you can live with, not habits that for a robot, you're not a robot. You have to be more realistic with yourself. You know, I'm talking to myself here. But anyways, my analogy rolls back to trading. It's you can't be so rigid. You have to be yourself, something that works for you, of course, but something that's, and don't be afraid of something that's not so complex and not so many moving parts and just something simple. And but you have to, I I don't mean something that's like I'm just gonna buy at the I'm just gonna buy at the money calls every day at market close because that's what I think's gonna work. You need you can't have blind faith in what you're doing, but you also can't have this mindset of it has to be so many, I have to tie so many different knots to, for it to work, when really you only have to tie one good knot. You know, but don't make believe that that knot is strong enough. You can't just make believe. Um, see, I've been in fantasy world for a lot of my years. Um, in relationship and in trading. I'm thinking that something is when it isn't. And when I know it isn't, in reality, it's not. It's not. It's not. When in reality, I it's not in reality. But I am still believing that it is because I have blind faith and I call it optimism. I call it hope and faith and the whole romanticism about it. And I love that spirit. I love that spirit, and I have empathy for those people who have that. I'm not asking you to be a cold-hearted bitch. What I'm asking, don't know why I said that, but I'm not asking you for to be cold-hearted. Um, I'm saying for you to not be stupid. Sorry, don't be stupid. A stupid test is why does your trading strategy work? Tell me why. Why does your trading strategy work? And if you're talking about more fluff than reality, then you're probably still living in that fantasy that you just refuse to let go of. But if you have confidence in that trading strategy and you know why, you can answer why your trading strategy works. Why does it work? Why does it work? And you can honestly answer it. And after you answer it, when you say those words, that answer of why your trading strategy works, do you believe it? Do you believe that in your heart? Because at the end of the day, we all know what happens when you're trading. Real money, things happen, moves fast, and sooner or later you're going to get down and uncover what's in your heart. You're going to uncover what's in the core of your belief. And at some point, you will be tempted and said, do you stand for these morals? Do you stand for your trading strategy? Do you stand for what you're doing here? Because I'm going to take your money. Because I'm going to make you lose this trade that you have so much hope for, that you did so well. I'm going to break your heart. And at that point of temptation of saying, fuck it, I'm just going all in here, or fuck it, I need to make this back, or blah, 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 whatever your Achilles heel is, trading will seek that out. You are dancing with the devil. This is, I wouldn't call it the devil quite yet. I still have yet to identify that, but at least playing with some fire. I don't, it's, it's a very touchy thing. Um, At least for me, because I've been vulnerable in the past with trading, and it's it had its control over me, and that's not okay. You can't have trading, it's not even a real thing, have control over you. It's similar to a drug. Drug takes control over you, whatever, you know. We need to control it. We need to control trading. And that's kind of where I'm getting at. Come full circle, it doesn't have to be so exact. You don't have to be so rigid. You don't have to be so anal and just freaking ridiculous. Be something that you can live with in lifetime, lifestyle, longevity. Can you do this diet forever? Yeah, I can because it allows me to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches sometimes. Nice. And Saturday and Sunday I can eat whatever I want if I want to. Anything I want when I want to. It doesn't mean you have to. When you give yourself that freedom, it kind of allows you not to be so freaking overboard on the weekends. Because, bro, every weekend I can eat whatever I want. I don't need, I don't need the next bowl of ice cream. I don't need that. I mean, I can hit it next weekend, but whatever it might be. You don't have to be so strict. And in trading, you don't have to be so perfect. That's what I'm saying. Me, I roll with boxes. I do have precision in my strategy. I know what to do, but it's more so conceptual. It's more so big picture. Let's say this thing's breaking upwards. Okay, I'll buy here, I sell there. It's more like, oh, this is my risk. Boom, this is my reward all the way up 2 to 1. Boom. It's precise that way where I know what I'm risking, I know what my reward is, I know the trade, but it's less precise in, oh, this has to be so, this has to be so, oh, this didn't break that low, and like, it doesn't have to be so crazy. I don't know. It just doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, man. So, that's my point. Um, yeah, trading talk, man. Love trading. It's a great, what a game this is, man. What a game. It's an honor. It's an honor to do this. Um, I'm blessed to do this. In my opinion, because it's it's like you learn so much in life. Let's say this. I don't know what that is. Is that fly or a spider? No, it's a fly. All right. Um, you know, I like trading this one, and then I'm closing the video. Um, when you learn something, let's say, let's say you learn something in soccer, sports. You learn or a crossover in basketball. can you carry that crossover? I'm proud of that crossover. Like I practiced that for so long. I love that move. Okay, w- you can only really use it when you're playing basketball, and not even by yourself. It's like not really a thing. It's only in game time situations. The fact is, once we practice things and stuff, and then we do that in a game and make a layup because I made that crossover, it's so fulfilling to you. It's so fulfilling to have something you worked hard on and you implement it. You use it like a damn bicycle. You use it like a truck you bought. You use it. Oh, I utilize this move. It's something you have equipped in your arsenal and you use it. And that's exactly like trading. I have setups that I utilize like it's a damn bicycle. I don't even know how to say it. Like it's a damn trick in a video game. I've unlocked that trick and I see what happens. Oh, that's a now we're forming a trick here because this is a pattern. And now I have setups that are patterns and that consistently happen in the market. And that is it's fulfilling to practice that and to have it work out. It's like it's awesome. It's awesome. That wasn't even what I was gonna say. The fulfilling part that came out. That wasn't even what I was gonna say. But I mean, the other thing what I was gonna say is, man, I forgot. It's like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I just like trading because I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I had to say, but I'm losing it here. I think it's just, uh, okay. Here it goes. This is what I was gonna say. Sorry about that. Um, it's you learn morals in your lifetime, such as just hard events, traumatic events, or huge events in your lifetime. Just whatever your personal journey is, the things that change your heart, change your honestly, your change your perspective of life, can change your attitude, can change your personality. Huge events or just huge revelations in your life. And when you're going throughout life, you don't always use these revelations. At work, maybe your job, you, you don't always use these revelations to your advantage. Yes, you have your personality. Yes, you've learned empathy and kindness and to think for others. And yes, that's helpful. Or whatever it is you can use at the job. But in my opinion, trading brings that out. It tempts you into right versus wrong morality that is foundational in your soul. It's way deep down there. And how often of a job gets to test you on these things? Gets to the trading puts these metal for positive or negative to you and see if it conducts. See if it shines the light bulb. And Your job is to not shine the wrong light bulb, but you know it. Deep down, you know it. Deep down, you know not to do that side. You trust yourself to identify that on your own. It is tricky, it is tempting, it's deceiving. But that's why we have a simple, that's why we have not much complexity here. And trying to simplify things and to understand simple because you're not playing this. Nuh-uh. I've seen you mess with me before. I've seen this. Stop. I'm not going to take that trade. I don't care. I'm not going to take it. I've seen this before, and even if it works out, I don't care because I had bad vibes about that one. Because trading's all about good vibes, man. Once you have bad vibes is impatience. Bad vibes is like, fuck, it's got to get to the target. Bad vibes is condensing. Good vibes are freeing. You want free, you want flow. You don't want any pressure. You don't want any drama. You don't want shit, man. Just chill. Simple. Doesn't have to be so complex. And that's why I like trading. I like it because it makes you, it tests you, man. It tests you down to the core. It tests you. And how many other jobs get to test you like that every day? It's an honor to be a part of this career. It's an honor. I would like nothing more. This is fun because now I get it. And sometimes you lose. Oh, losing sucks. Not just the money, I'm talking about losing morally. You chose the wrong. You need to go to confession. Whatever it is. It's kind of like sins. But lately, it's not about that. Lately, it's about you messed up. Don't be so hard on yourself. Is the strategy too tight on you? Is the diet too hard? Do you want to change the diet so you can have a piece of bread? No? So you can shape it up? Okay, fine. Don't let it happen again. Okay, I think I can do that. You do it again? Alright. Look, man, I don't hate you. I love you. Love yourself. Love yourself. Even if you make a mistake. Even if the market gets you and you buy double the contracts that you needed to because you just lost three in a row and you're just fucking pissed. I'm gonna buy randomly huge heavy contracts completely out of the blue. That's obviously wrong. The end of the day, you cool off the next day or whatever. My, I know what I did was wrong. You know what you did was wrong, so don't beat yourself up. Just take a breath. I understand. And don't be so hard on yourself. We are all critics of ourselves at some degree. And my point is, don't be such a harsh critic, man. Look, what caused this? Do you want to be able to trade bigger size when you feel like it? Yeah. So I don't have to feel like a mangy mutt when I take a three contracts instead of one after three losers in a row? No, because you're entitled to take a triple trade. You're entitled to. Oh, now you just changed your strategy, but now you just changed your morals. Now you just changed what you're eligible to do. Now you just changed that in this diet, you can have a piece of toast with butter on it. It doesn't have to be dry. You can have a piece of toast with butter on it. Now you're thinking longevity wise, can you do this? And sooner or later, you'll come around to the fact that shit. I'm looking at my graph here. I don't want to take a triple size position if I just lost three in a row. Every single time that happened, I lose my ass on it. And you don't, it's not coming from your change doesn't come from beating yourself up. Your change comes from freeing yourself, just free and guilt free. And then looking at your statistics and then looking at the results of your decisions and, huh, that's not a good idea. So it's not the shame that changes your trading and yourself. It's the honest desire, honest identification of the failure, and no, not the failure. You don't know if it's a failure. That's what my point is. Shame identifies failure. Failure, failure, failure. You fucked up. No, hold up, hold up. Shame, go away. Remember, shame condenses you. It condenses you, and when you're condensed and you're pressurized and it's not freeing, it's not good, it's not longevity, it's bad. Simple, open mind, guilt-free, shame-free. Get those out of here. You know what's right for wrong, so I don't ignore guilt, of course. Right versus wrong. But most importantly, don't beat yourself up. And change, true change, long-lasting, true, learned change from experience comes from not from shame. Shame is not going to change you. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Shame forces you to make that decision to not do that again or whatever. It's not actually going to change you. It's just going to restrict you, and you don't know why you keep running into that brick wall, but the brick wall's there because shame says don't pass it. And you're a rule follower, so you don't. All right, fine, I'm not going to pass it. But you don't know why that wall's there for you. The wall is there for a right reason. I'm not. That's why shame is so dangerous. It puts brick walls up in the right places. But the problem is that you don't fully understand through your experience. You don't fully sink in all the way why those walls are there. That's why free everything, have no shame at all, nothing. I can triple order whenever I want, and I still can do that. But I just know now through experience, through opening this up, that I don't want to triple or I can. There's no wall there, but I'm choosing not to triple order because at after 3 losses, 4 losses in a row, I know why I'm triple ordering, man. It's because I want to make up for all that money I lost. And shame has the same reasons, but it forces you instead of freely choosing. The coolest thing about, I'm bringing up religion, but the coolest thing about God is, in my opinion, he gives us free will. He doesn't force us. He doesn't have a insecure attachment for his children to be towards him. He allows us to sin. He allows us to free will. He allows us to eventually go to hell. He allows us to destroy ourselves. He doesn't want us to. He's reached out, he calls all the time. He tells you, your conscience tells you. How many times has he reminded you not to do that or whatever it is? Blah 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 blah. My point is that true love is free. True love does not restrain, restrict. True love is free so much that it's trusting. It's and that's what truly makes a trader change. Not through shame, putting up walls around what you need to have to do. It's about having no shame. It's about just absorbing what you see and trade and don't be so hard on yourself and this is what I'm doing, and just be cruising. It's cruising, bro. It's not so fast paced. It's not stop signs all the time. It's cruising. It's cruising. It's a good engine. Oh, I think I need something right here. You're not comparing to anything to anybody. It's just you figure it out on your own and you're cruising. And sooner or later you'll figure out what's wrong and what's right. And even if you set up rules around these things, um, you don't have to set up the rules, is what I'm saying. You just choose. True trading, a mature, experienced trader, needs very few rules to follow. They don't need all these rules and guidelines. They just need a few rules. And a stop loss is probably the only rule that you honestly need if you're the most experienced. I don't see why I wouldn't ever have a stop loss, but who knows what'll happen in however many years, 30 years. I might change my mind. But at this point, that's the case, man. That's trading for you. Coming from just some amateur. Just some amateur. I'm laughing because I've had a lot of experience and it's been a big portion of my life. Um, but looking back, still haven't made a dime. To this day, I haven't really made a dime. I'm still way negative in my lifetime of trading. Um, but I'm losing the shame, man. And it's not, and it doesn't feel so much like the wrong path anymore. It doesn't feel like dark and evil. It's it's freeing, man. And I have no doubt that I'm gonna make money at this. I'm gonna have success. No doubt. Yeah. But man, the art of trading.